So recently I've been doing a lot of research on people that have successfully obtained their OSCP certification, and one thing that I've noticed is there is a commonality amongst them. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned for the video. Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan from elevatecyber. Now this one commonality, this is not a very trivial thing. This is actually pretty big. Honestly, without sort of following this model, I'm not sure how one can be successful on the OSCP. Of course, there's always outliers. There's always people that are still able to do things in there, and everyone has their own way of doing it slightly, right? But this is really an essential, I would say. Now, I'll preface by saying one of the biggest things, like when it comes to something like OSCP, right? There's just so many moving parts to it. I mean, anyone that has pursued it or even looked at the syllabus, all you have to do is look at the course outline to know just how much there is that you need to know for this certification, right? And for hacking in general, right? We talk about it all the time. It's not an entry-level thing. It is difficult. OSCP is the entry level for pen testing, but pen testing itself is very is not an entry-level kind of job. So with that being said, there's so many different things you need to learn, anywhere from recon to exploitation and all of that. So what you really need to do is make sure that your mind is as cleared up as possible, as free as possible, to focus on these big overarching concepts, especially with the overwhelming, staggering number of tools there are out there. Several tools even doing the same things, basically, right? And so one commonality that I've noticed across the board is every single person that has gotten the OSCP that I've seen in interviews have mentioned just how detailed and how thorough they were with their note-taking. So when you go back to this issue that I was talking about with all these tools, with all of these items on the list that you need to understand in order to be able to pass this and get this certification, it really comes as no surprise, right? Because if you want to be able to understand the concepts, the big pictures, right, the best way that you're going to be able to do that is by taking notes on the technical stuff, on the fine details. Kind of like when you have a lot of tasks to do that you need to get done, right? Well, the best way to do that is to write them down. Use a planner. I got my planner right here at the moment. Use a planner, use whatever. Even if you're just using an app on your phone, get them out of your mind and onto something in a tangible way so that you can actually focus on the task, doing the tasks, and you don't have to be burdened with trying to recall everything from scratch. In a similar vein, when it comes to OSCP and all these different commands, if you just jot down the commands, all the technical commands that you use, and in the situation you use them, you jot them down, then when you're in that situation again and you're like, okay, I need to do X. Oh, well, I remember when I, did X and I wrote it down in my notes. I don't remember the exact command that I ran, and I sure as hell don't remember all the flags that went into that command, but I know I have it in my notes. Let me do a quick search, and oh, here it is. Now I can do that, right? And so what this does is it really kind of facilitates this mindset of the big picture mindset on things, right? Understanding the concepts is so much more important than just memorizing a command, right? Anyone can just memorize a command. You need to understand what the tools do, with that being said, right? It's not enough just to memorize steps. You want to be understanding what the tool's doing. You need to know why you're using the flags that you're using in your commands. You need to understand the why behind stuff. Because when you're in those live scenarios, when you are, taking the exam, and it's all on you to come up with the solution, the way to hack the servers on the exam, right? That is when that big picture knowledge is really going to pay off, because you're going to see like, oh, I see this port is running, and I understand the big picture. I know that there's tools that can do this, this, and this. Well, I don't have any notes and I don't know what flags there are. You're going to have to Google search all of that versus, okay, I see this port's open and here's what I know that I can do with it. Let me see what the commands were. and let me see not just even the commands in your note taking, but even any other things that you might have encountered in all of your experience, right? Because the benefit to doing a lot of boxes, to rooting a lot of boxes, isn't just the repetition of it. It is the knowledge base that you build up over time. And this is something that I talk about a lot on my channel. The whole Japanese proverb that I love, even specks of dust can become a mountain. And that is the way you need to approach this stuff, right? Every CTF you do, every OSCP lab box that you do, you are adding that speck of dust, that speck of dust, that speck of dust, and slowly over time you're building up your skill set, and you're going to be able to call upon that in the future. So you should document all the boxes you do. You shouldn't just do write-ups on the exam boxes and the exercises, the OSCP exercises. You should be doing write-ups on all the boxes you do. That is what all of the most successful people have done. I've noticed they've been really thorough on their note-taking. Even when they're doing boxes on their spare time just for practice to level up, they're taking notes on that. And if they ever come across something that is something they didn't know before, something they never seen before, they're going to make a note of that. And then the next time they see it, not only are they going to be like, oh, I've seen that before, they're going to be able to say, oh, I've seen that before, and I have the notes, and here's what I did last time. And so with that kind of model, you are really going to be a lot more successful, and it's going to free up your mind to really focus on these big picture things as well. So if you guys are interested in building up your notes, regardless of where you're at right now in your pen testing career, definitely check out the link in the description below. You'll find for absolute free all of my pen tester notes from the last 5 years of taking this approach, maybe not on an as thorough scale as these people that have been successful on the OSCP, but certainly a lot of notes have been accumulated by me over the last 5 years. And going forward, I am continuing to add to my note-taking and be even more thorough. So if you guys are definitely just starting out, I would recommend you guys to, for sure, just be very thorough in your note-taking, absolutely. And if you are interested in learning more about this cybersecurity space, how to get into pen testing, go ahead and check out the video right over there, and I will see you in that video.